Coaches, thanks for joining. I'm going to show you in this video how to effectively run a 1-hour film session for kids from 6 years old up to 14-year-old. Get it in, make sure they know who their opponent is for the next week, make sure they understand a few key themes from the week before, and how to put it on the field and make your team better because of it. Coaches, if you find my content helpful in any way at all, please do just subscribe to the YouTube channel, like the videos, and hit that bell notification. It'll help us spread the word to other youth coaches and make sure they understand that our little community exists. All right, great, guys. So I'm so excited to do this video. It's something that is near and dear to my heart. I feel like it's a lost art, breaking down film. I know a lot of you say 6-year-old, 8-year-old, 10-year-old, they don't need to watch film, but nothing could be further from the truth. There's nothing that replaces the ability to see yourself on film, not taking the steps right, not doing what the coaches is telling you. I'm telling these guys, they can't visualize what you're trying to tell them all the time. So even if you do say, hey, the power step is wrong, it's the wrong angle, or your hands are in the wrong position, whatever it is, they may say, yes, coach, but seeing it on film is so different than seeing it in your mind. It really does help. And I know, keeping these kids' attention is not easy for an hour. So I'm going to show you a way to be super, super, super focused, how to make sure everyone on the team is getting a ton of value out of it, including your coaches. It's going to make you better. I can't tell you how different the game is watching it live and then going watching it the next day. It's two different games, guys. So it will help you tremendous. It will help you tremendously. So let's just start at the top, okay? I had a coach at Nevada, Coach K. I absolutely loved his film sessions. I thought it was so cool how they would go through play by play, position by position, step by step. I mean, it gets a little tedious if you don't love this stuff. I'm not saying you have to do that, but I absolutely love it. I think there should be more content on how to watch film. I honestly feel like I could watch some well-known coach break down his film for hours if that was given that opportunity, just to get in their mind and really understand exactly how they are thinking about every single nuance, because it really does get down to the nitty-gritty. I'm not going to do that with you guys right now. I don't think that those kids need that level of detail. But I'm telling you, being able to show them exactly what they're doing right and they're doing wrong, it does pay dividends on the field, okay? All right, so the first thing you need to understand is that there's some pre-work to this. When I talk about a 1-hour film session, that's with the kids in front of a TV. I don't think you need to go any longer than that. And I think you can get a lot done in that hour if they're focused and you're focused, okay? So the pre-work starts before that. So film process. Here we go. So the first thing you need to do. So we play on Saturdays, okay? Typically we get our film back Sunday, sometimes Monday. What I will say is that we typically do film on Friday. We play on Saturdays, like I mentioned. So the kids will have a chance to see our scout cards during the week, understand what offense they run, understand what defense they run, and then we get to film Friday and show them actually film of the team doing it. And so they get to fill in the blanks that way. In a perfect world, I would love to do film on Monday, so then we can take it to the field and talk through it. In that scenario, I think the kids would get more out of it. But we don't always get our film in time. I got to have time to do this prep process for film, so it's been tough to try to do it on Mondays. But either way, as soon as you get that film, if you're like me and some of the coaches I work with, we're watching film and we're consuming and we're getting into it. So the first thing I'd say to do is, before you get the film, when you wake up the next day or even that evening, if you're not doing anything, write down the most common themes that represent what you think you saw in the game. I'm telling you, it's night and day what actually is in the game and what you think you saw. But it's great to just give Write it down before you watch the film and just understand what you think the key takeaways from the game was. The O-line seemed to be a lot of traffic in the backfield. The O-line wasn't holding up, or it seemed like the receivers weren't getting to their spots, or it seemed like the defensive ends were doing their job, but the D tackles were getting pushed back. Whatever it is, just write it down, and then you'll be able to compare what really is happening. So then we watch the game. We get into the game, and we start taking more notes on new themes that you didn't realize was going on. Same type of thing, blocking or whatever it is, big themes that the team needs to understand about. And then you start making those notes on, separately, but then you start, as you're going through the film, you can start making notes in huddle, okay? So I don't know if any of you guys do that, but as you kind of go through these notes, you see a play, and then you see up here, I wrote free money, great job, quarterback, and L. So these guys, okay? So you can pop up this thing, write whatever you want, right? Whatever you want. Draw little arrows, look at that, look at this, check out how far back he is from here, blah, blah, blah. So you can write your notes and chalk it up all you want. But anyway, the first time around, I just start making general notes on what you're seeing. And then just kind of keep it moving. You don't want to spend too awfully long on it. We want to just start creating notes, start thinking about what themes we're talking about, and start really understanding what's happening in the game. Obviously, if you see, your position, or if you're a coach like me that's kind of trying to look at all of it, you need to make notes on a lot of things. On this one, I have a QB note, an F note, which is this guy, and then a coach's note for the coaching staff, okay? And so just go through it and watch it. If you need to watch it, watch it back. Like this guy, what is this right tackle doing? We are called early Y stick or corner. I can't tell what that Y is doing, but this guy is downfield. This freaking tackle is chasing him downfield. What are you doing? So we just take notes on all this stuff as you see it, okay? And you go through it. And so, as you go through it, you're taking notes, you're writing down new themes, you're marking the themes that you thought previously you had thought was happening in the game. If they're matching up with themes that you've seen, mark little numbers next to them. Okay, I saw that 3 times, 4 times. So then you can see toward the end, when you're all done with your first watch back, you can pick 5 themes. So we're going to choose 5 themes, and it could be 4, it could be 6, whatever. We just can't go too long, guys. So you got to put a cap to it at some point. But for me, I usually pick about 5 themes, O-line blocking, wide receiver stance, whatever it is. I'm going to pick plays that represent those themes, okay? So how we do that is, so if you watch this and you see when you're taking notes, these little squiggles, that means those are notes that I've created. So I'll go through and mark these notes, and then I'll go through the whole thing. So there's 112 plays in here, okay? So we're gonna go through and mark all the squiggly notes. We're gonna go over here, create this playlist. And once you save the playlist, and I already did this, you see here, it says Friday film. So those are all my notes. So it's separate from the game. There's only this amount of notes. So play 3, play 4, play 7, play 10. These are all notes that I've written, and only those notes. So we don't go down a rabbit hole of watching the whole game, okay? Okay, so then now I've created a whole playlist that when film time comes, I can easily go in here, click Friday film, and know that we're gonna be on the right place, okay? All right. Now, we've created the playlist. We can go in here and tune up these notes, okay? So now I go through it one more time, and I wanna make sure that each of these plays has to do with at least one of the themes. So if you see 2 themes, like, hey, quarterback, you're not getting your body right, your feet aren't in position, and right tackle, you've released downfield on a pass, I would just make all those notes. Note 1, note 2, note 3, just right here. 1, blah, 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 2, blah, blah, blah. I usually do it by position. So you'll see in a lot of these, I'll say, F, you did this. QB, you did this. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. And so now we are making these notes perfect. So when we get to the kids, again, we want to keep this moving as quickly as possible. So you see here, QB, there's a note for the QB, there's a Q note for the F, and there's actually a note for the coaches. On the next one, there's a note for the QB, the Y, the F, and for the coaches. So we are going to talk about these, and I'm going to go through it with you in a second, but we want to make sure, obviously, these are relevant and not wasting anyone's time. Okay. And so now our Friday film for our last game is in the books. Okay. So now we have about 20 minutes or so of film to go through. You can talk it, break it down. Since we're only choosing a few themes, you can go deeper with the kids for each one, versus if you just tried to go through every offensive series, it would just be, you'd go down a rabbit hole. You wouldn't really be focused on what things you want them to understand, and it would just be all over the place, and it would just be chaos. Okay, so stay focused. All right, so now that we have last week's opponent film, we're going to kind of do the same thing with our next week opponent. Okay, so then I'll go into the scout film that I got. So here's the scout film for Pleasant Hill. We play them the next week after this, and it's literally the same process. I'm going to go through and find common themes. So, and then take notes. Okay, so you probably have a sense of the teams you play typically. Pleasant Hill for us always runs this damn wedge. I hate the wedge, but they always run it, and they are successful with it, and it drives me nuts. But again, so I know that I'm looking for wedge. So here we go. I make a note whenever you see these two up backs, wherever they go, the ball carrier goes. So usually these two up backs and the running back will be a lead for the Wildcat. Very boring and unimaginative football, but it's what they do. So then I'll go find, I'll watch the film and find some common themes, same type of thing. So if you look here, I made a note on their defense. Look here on 9, I made a note on, their favorite play, thinking wedge. Every time, follow the up backs, they'll take you where you need to go. Okay, and sure enough, instead of going backside like last time, they went power. And then there's another note, slap the ball, he will drop it. Anyway, so we do this again. We mark the side here. We create a playlist, and with that playlist, I will already have it in the can. So when we get to this part of the night, I can just click on Friday Film, Pleasant Hill. I got my plays here that are going to show them everything they need to know. Again, not every single thing. It's impossible to get all of them right. But if your team comes up to the line of scrimmage on Saturday, on game day, and understands what they like to do, what they like to do out of different formations, and they've physically seen it with their own eyes, not just on a card, on a scout card, but they see it right there on the screen. Guys, it's night and day how much this helps. Okay, so now we have film prep process ready to go. And now let's move into the day of film. Okay, so again, we have film Friday nights. Friday nights is obviously high school football night. A lot of these kids are super tied into the high schools here with good reason. And so what we want to do is get them in and out. So we typically have it at 5 o'clock. The varsity high school game is at 7:30. So we're in and out. I tell them to get here at 4:45. Some of them might come over early and play Madden, whatever. But at 5 o'clock, they all know we're getting started. And we'll welcome them in, set expectations for about 5 minutes, make sure they know, hey, the first thing that we're going to show you is last week's highlight film. So you can have fun and be silly for the first 15 minutes here when we show you the highlight film, but be ready. After that highlight film, we are getting to work. We're breaking down film, and you need to be calm, or you can just, go sit outside or excuse yourself or whatever the case may be. Again, I've done this for 6-year-olds all the way to 14. If you're very clear, for the young guys, we maybe give them some popcorn or something right when the breakdown starts so they can have their hands full and they can sit quietly. But we get into the night, and I'm going to show you exactly what it looks like in a second here up on the TV screen. But this is what it's going to look like, okay? Welcome, set expectations. We're going to watch last week's highlight film. Usually the highlights are about 5 minutes worth. We build in about 15 minutes just to do, get everyone settled in. And then at 5:15, we start breaking down the real film, okay? We do that for about half an hour. Then we take about 10 to 15 minutes to break down the next week's opponent to get over those common themes. And then, with about 5 minutes left, we recap, talk about tomorrow's game, get to bed early, drink your water, take your vitamins, blah, blah, blah. And then they're released. And first thing we're going to do when we get in here, I do it on Xbox. However you want to do it. Some people can plug their computer right into the TV screen. So the first thing I do is go to Microsoft Edge, go sign into Huddle. So I've already kind of pre-done all this stuff for you. So we get into Huddle, my account. So we're thinking about this in terms of an hour, okay? So think about it as the first 10 to 15 minutes, we're just gonna get settled, and we're gonna let them get their wiggles out, let them get their energy out. At the top of the hour, we're starting, but we're gonna start, again, we're gonna transition, and these are kids, so we need to make sure that, we are clear with our expectations. The first thing we're gonna show, you can talk, you can laugh, you can have fun. I'm gonna show them the highlights from the last week. So they can laugh at each other, razz each other, congratulate each other. And if you are kind of the one breaking down the post-game information, I'm show how to do that. But you can highlight, put a little star next to the main highlights for the week, and Huddle will automatically create this little highlight film. So I'll go find that highlight film from the week before. You can see here it's about 6 minutes. Okay. So you got about 6 minutes, and that's fine. We want to give these kids every reason to pay attention when it's time. So we'll get it on and make it large, and then we'll start the video. Again, kids, team, have fun with this. Watch the highlights from this last game. You deserve it. You had a great game. Kick their butt. Here's some highlights. Have fun, because after we show this, we're going to get serious and lock in. And if you can't focus during that period, we'll just ask you to step outside, okay? But this part right now, have fun, enjoy each other. You guys earned this. So we'll show the film, let them kind of watch the highlights, watch some cool stuff, turn the volume up if there's, so we'll go through this. Usually it's like a 5-minute highlight video of the week before, okay? So you guys have all seen these highlights before, okay? So, all right, so let's just say that's done. And then the next part that we're gonna do, so that's about 10 to 15 minutes of welcoming people in, letting them watch the video, let them talk and chat. So about 15 minutes in, this will be over. And then you go, okay, time to get serious. I'm bringing up the film from last week. There's a lot of things that we did great, like you saw, but there's a lot of things that we need to work on. And there's a couple themes that we continue to see. So as you guys, I've showed you on earlier in this video, I've already created this Friday film, gone through the film, created these clips that are gonna highlight the few themes that I have in my mind that I've written down that I know that are on this film. As we go through it, they're gonna check the boxes of what I wanted to get across. I also like to say to these kids, now, before we start this is nothing personal. We are using this to get better as a team. We're using this to get better as a player. Do you want to get better or do you want to stay the same? We're not yelling at you. This is not supposed to be something where anybody gets to make fun of you. We all get critiques, from the quarterback to the safety to the whoever. Everyone's going to get critiques throughout the year. We're going to use your example. If you get called out on this, as a way to teach the whole team about something that we need to do better if we're going to go and win this championship like we want to, okay? You'll get better if you're using Xbox. I've gotten pretty good at it. You can grab this and slide it through the highlight if you want to go slow. We definitely like to go slow in certain parts to show steps and just be up here literally talking about, hey, look at your right foot. Is this the right step that you're supposed to be in? Or watch your body. Are you supposed to be on the inside shade or the outside shade? Or if we're on defense, we'll be able to just literally up here pointing back and forth. Oh, look at your step. Look at your right foot. Look at your left foot. Look at your right foot. I mean, it's back and forth. I mean, it's a tedious thing, but I just love it because they can really focus on something that they need to work on when they hit their practice field. Okay, so we'll get into it and we'll just let the first one go. I'll put, like I showed you earlier in this video, I already put in all the notes. So we get to this first clip and I wrote here, easy money. Great job, quarterback and L, because in the game, as you guys all know, we called Y stick. You can see up here, I've already filled in all the data. So it says Y stick, it's 2nd and 6 on the 47-yard line. So these guys are running Y stick, but as we always say, if we call a concept and the backside is wide open, he's 7 yards off or more, look, he's way back here, we're gonna throw it. I didn't see this in the game, quarterback and receiver, so great job with the fact that you did and you executed. And again, that went from 2nd and 6 to 1st and 10 in a 20-yard gain on that play. Okay, so great job. Now, I'm going through this pretty quick, but you can stop and start and go through this over and over. So the next piece of film, quarterback, let it develop for one more beat. So while this is being read before the play, we're going to use these words to kind of talk about the play in order, and we'll go in order from the top, okay? F, we need to go straight to the sideline, not 2 steps forward. So, and I'll go through the breakdown with the kids right now as well. And then coaches, we need to solve that problem. So I make note to the coaches too, okay? So here's the play. As we know, we're in early, and we're gonna run one of the quick games down here. Okay, so the first note was with the quarterback. So the note to the quarterback was let it develop, okay? So we're gonna focus on the quarterback. So the quarterback comes up to the line, he calls it out. And so we are reading this defender, right? There's a corner here. This is the inside linebacker pulled out, and this is the outside linebacker. So we are running Y stick right at him. So we need to make him decide. So quarterback, if he's hovering, just sitting here like this, we need to let it develop just a tad longer, because what it looks like is, let's see where you make your decision. As they come out, the F is broken out on his route, and it's hard to see what the linebacker is doing, but essentially we can tell he's breaking on the ball. So let's just get it to the point where it is right here. Okay. So it's hard to tell if that outside linebacker broke on that ball when you threw it or after you threw it. But if we wait one more beat, he might be coming into that open grass right there versus him just kind of sitting in between, okay? So quarterback, let it develop for one more second, and you'll be able to tell what this guy is gonna do, okay? Now, the second coaching point was for the F, this guy, to get straight to the sideline. He is running up, F, you are running up 2 steps and then out. We need to make this guy, this defender, decide who he's gonna cover. Is he gonna cover you, or is he gonna cover you? And the quicker we can make him decide, the faster the quarterback can make his decision. So F, we need you to stop running forward 2 steps and then out. As you can see right here, you are taking 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like a speed out. We cannot be running a speed out here, okay? We need to go, and we can flip your feet if you need to, We need to go straight to the sideline, maybe 1 yard depth at an angle, but not up. You're not making this guy decide quick enough, and it's kind of messing up the timing. Okay, coaches, we need to solve this. We need to put him in motion or stack them or something to make that decision happen quicker. Okay, so next play. Now you did. Then the next play, quarterback, you let it develop. Okay, so great job. Let's watch the quarterback let this develop, that extra beat to make this happen. So great job. So there you go, right there. I mean, it's exactly what we're talking about. So as the quarterback drops back, F, you're still coming up and out. So in a perfect world, we just want you going straight to this number, right, for the 24-yard line or 23-yard line. But since the quarterback let it work a little bit longer, see that linebacker is clearly attacking the F, which allows the Y to sneak in, find that open grass, and then do a great job of getting upfield for that extra yard. We needed that little boost to get going. Okay, what was the other note on that last one? So we took care of the quarterback, Y. Great job finding open grass and knowing where the sticks are. So we just talked about that, Y. Great job finding the grass, settling in, and then getting right upfield. Can you get upfield a little faster? Yes, maybe so. Maybe you could drop step into it, but the main point is you knew where the sticks were, you needed that extra yard, and we got it. So great job. Coaches, another note to solve this F. He is coming, he is coming forward and is messing up our timing. He needs to get straight to the sideline. Receiver coaches, we need to handle that. One last time, watch him. He's doing a speed out. We don't want it to be a speed out. We're going to open that window up faster if he can get straight to the sideline and make that guy decide, okay? Okay, here we go. Quarterback. Play side corner is so far back, we need to know at that point, forget the corner. We're not reading that anymore. We're going snag and we're going shoot. That's what we're reading now, okay? So quarterback. He is essentially already in the deep third here. So right now we know it's these two guys. He's running the snag, he's running the shoot. And we need to make the decision as quickly as possible off this guy. Okay, now you got to throw it. That's a touchdown. That's a touchdown, sir. That's a touchdown right here. You see this linebacker drop back or hesitate at all? That linebacker took a step back. That ball needs to be coming out right now. Right now. Right now. Right now. Now we're late. That's a pick six if it's a bad throw. Even if you hit him here, it's a touchdown. It's that open. So, you know, the ball went crazy. Look at your feet. You're pointed out here with your foot. So where's the ball going to go? Okay. Even if he catches that, it's a waste of time. Okay. That ball, that's a touchdown. F needs to go right to the sideline, but it was open. And it's clear as day right here where that ball needs to be. Okay. Quarterback, got it? Okay. When you flip your hips, we just talked about that. Get your feet aligned, get your hips aligned, and we'll be fine. Okay. Why the heck are you jogging? This is 1,000 miles an hour. Okay, I missed that right there, but let's go see what we're talking about. Okay, so this is the why. You need to be going as fast as you can, 4 steps into the back pylon. Let's watch you, why. Harper, what do you do? Oh, you're just jogging. No, I'll just stop my route there. What the heck is that? Okay. All you receivers, if you are not going 1,000 miles an hour, you're not going to be on the field, okay? Harper, if I see that again, you're not going to be an option in this offense, okay? I'll put Bruno back in, or somebody else can step up in your space because that is not fast enough. Every receiver on this field, including the R, should be going full speed every time. And if we see it on film that you're not, sorry, that's unacceptable, Harper. Get going. Get going. Okay, here we go. Left tackle and right tackle, not good enough. Left tackle, right tackle. Not good enough. Let's just break this down. Okay, let's start with the left tackle. Cotton, here we are on you. Left tackle. Where's your first step? Back, right? What's your first step? Let's look at your first step. Your first step is out and forward. So he sidesteps you and goes right by you. So even though you took the wrong first step, you still have him right here, okay? You still have him right here. All you have to do at this point is slide your feet and get out in front of him. That's it. But you let him swing the door. You see how you got sideways here? You see how you got sideways here? You're sideways. Once you get sideways like this, it's over. Curtains, okay? So you got to slide your feet, stay in front of him, and make sure he does not get around you like that, okay? Now, let's go right tackle. Sherrick, okay? First of all, your splits are way too crazy, way too narrow. But let's see your first step. Okay. Your first step, and I guess it's because you're trying to get out to this guy. Your first step, you opened the gate. You opened up sideways. Okay, that's not what we're teaching you. We're teaching you to get back, stay square, and then level him up once he gets to you. Okay, your first step is completely side. Look at literally your first step, you're sideways. You're facing directly to the sideline. It's already a game over there, okay? So as he approaches you, you put your head down and whiff. Okay, so where's your hands? Where are you supposed to be punching? Where you're using your wing and your shoulder, and it's not good enough. So we have a meeting at the quarterback. Luckily, your quarterback bails you out, buys some time, and the F is out there settling and noosing out there like he should. Watch coach, everybody, watch how he finds grass. He's looking, he's open, hands up, settle in, touchdown. That's how you do it, F. That's how you receivers do it. Linemen, we're going to get this right next practice. All right, so that we'll go through the film just like that, and this should probably be the bulk of it. Okay, it's probably about half an hour is last week's film, because it's, again, you can't replicate the ability for these kids to see exactly what's going on with their feet, swinging gaits and all that stuff. You don't visualize it in your head like you do when you see it on film. Okay, so half an hour or so of that. That's usually the biggest chunk. Then we'll go to the opponent's film. Pick out a few key plays. You're not going to get great at you can't stop every play, and you can't rep against every play. But if there are tendencies that they run in a certain formation all the time and a certain play out of that formation, I usually pick five or so of their most commonly run plays and formations, and then just go and talk about it, show them what it looks like. I will get into the film. I've already created film Friday against Pleasant Hill, who is our next opponent. And it'll be the same exact thing, guys. All right. So first film I wanted you to see, wedge. Follow the upbacks and they will take you home. So this team runs a lot of wedge. They have 1, 2 fullbacks here, a tight end here, a running back there. And they do either, it's the quarterback that follows these guys, or he'll hand it off and follow these guys. So if you follow these guys, they will take you to where it goes. So when you see them line up in this, these upbacks can either come out here, run power, or they can go back. It's almost like a GT counter, but they use their upbacks to do it. So watch where these backs go, and where they take you is where the ball will go. So if you're a linebacker, you're keying these guys. If you're a D tackle, you know, you're executing what you need to do. But I just want you guys to see that every single time. They go backside, quarterback goes backside and pushes through. Touchdown. This team is a solid team. So let's keep it going. Does everyone get that point? Follow the upbacks. On defense, they do tend to be aggressive and swarm. So as you can see here, they will rally to the ball. All right, here we go again with the wedge. Again, 2 up backs, a tailback, and a quarterback. Either it's wildcat, which it usually is wildcat, or he hands it. But either way, those backs, those up backs, did you see that? Last time they came back like a GT counter, they went backside. This side, this time they went outside and ran power out there. Okay, here we go, 3x1. So I wanted to show you what we're gonna do is run some 3x1 motion or 2x2 motion, because if you watch this guy, he comes out to the flats here and no one's covering him. So we're gonna attack the same way. We're gonna attack the same way. Yep, nice and easy. And we got 10 times better athletes than this team that they're beating up on. So it should be a great play for you Fs and you slot guys. They do run, when you see 3x1 out here, they run quick screens like we do. So be aware, if they're in 3x1, one of their favorite plays is quick screen. Okay, here we go. It's a little bit different. They only have 1 up back, but they have a tight end and a tailback. But guess where they're going? Yep, you guessed it. Follow those guys, and they'll take you to the ball. I mean, don't get it twisted. They're a good team, guys. So you guys better be on your game. When we hit the field, you better be ready to attack. You see those fullbacks going left or right, if you're a linebacker, you're coming downhill. If you're a safety, you're coming downhill right at that. If you're a DN, you're squeezing it, turning it back in. Okay, know your job, know your roles and responsibilities. Because when we hit the field, you better be on your game, because these guys are bringing it. Okay, so coaches, that's it. 15 minutes of that. You don't need to go crazy on it. Just pick 5 or so plays that you can show repetitively and show them how the backs go one way or another. But 15 minutes of that, you got about 5 minutes left after that. They come at 5 or 4:45, hang out 5 to 6. They're out. They got the high school game early. They're hanging out with their friends at the high school game, and then hopefully going to bed early because we got the game the next day. Okay? All right. Thank you, coaches. Appreciate you tuning in. I think film is a lost art that people don't take advantage of. If you have the resources to have film, you should be showing film to your players and breaking it down for them, not just telling them, go watch film. These are kids, guys. They're not going to do it. They're not going to do it, not the way that they need to, okay? Take the time to do it. A little bit of prep work goes a long way. You can have kids 6 years old, 8-year-olds, 14 years old, in and out, less than an hour. This will help your team so much. We went undefeated as 8-year-old, 8 and under. Just a few years ago, we did this film with 8-year-olds. There were 6-year-olds on that team. Hey, and the most important thing is they like it. This is a real football experience. Okay, you're giving them a football experience that you can't get anywhere else. Flag ain't doing this. 7-on-7, I don't think they're doing this. This is a true football experience that I learned at college, that you guys, if you have the resources and the time, it will help your team, I promise you. You just got to make sure you put in the time beforehand so they can get in and out in less than an hour. Okay, coaches, hope you enjoyed that. That's literally exactly how I do it. Obviously, there's kids around being loud usually, but that's literally how I stand up and do it. It doesn't take a scientist. It will help your team. You will win games because of this. It just takes you a little bit extra time as a coach to set it all up. But I firmly believe, I'll say it again, film is a lost art. It absolutely is helpful for kids as young as 6, as old as professionals. To do it. I love film. I could watch real legitimate coaches break down film all day. If it was a channel that was streaming, I would do it. I would watch it right now, because it just lets you get into nuance of exactly how these guys think and how they perceive the game. Anyway, not to get off on that tangent, you guys, if you have the resources and the film available, do this. Do yourself a favor, break down film, do a 1-hour session a week with the kids. They'll have fun. It's team bonding. And, it's not personal. We got to get that across to them, that they're not being yelled at. But it absolutely is bonding to go through these type of things together as a team. And, they can see the quarterback getting called out. They can see the third string punt returner getting called out. It doesn't matter. It's all one team, and this type of thing will take your team to the next level. I promise it will. Okay, so thanks, coaches. Appreciate you joining me. Hopefully you can put this into practice. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Talk to you soon, coaches.